Time now for the game show about another game found within a race. And yes, it involves a chicken. Here's the inside line. Points will be awarded. Feelings will be hurt. But there can only be one winner. Here are your contestants, Greg Stump, Ryan Flores, and Tyler Burnett.
Green flag on a Fantasy Friday on MRN.com. Unfortunately, though, Rich Culbreth joins us because Greg is a little too busy for work this week. I guess he's up painting helmets because of the hurricane potentially hitting the Carolinas. Teams are leaving early, so we need helmets done earlier. So Greg is not here, but unfortunately, Rich Culbreth is here.
You're more handsome.
Appreciate that. Hey, it's my favorite song.
Rich, you're not allowed to talk over Rebecca Black.
That's who sings that song?
Yes.
Is she famous?
No, she had one song, and it's because her dad paid for it.
Well, so we know that's going to need to be an Under a Rocket.
Yeah, that's minus 1 point for Rich Culbreth already. But
Dang.
we need to play our favorite game, pole position. Let's do it now. Unbutton a button. Yes. Thank you, Kozlowski. Winner!
You're showing it to the wrong camera here.
So you picked Keselowski last week to win the race?
Well, so
All
what
right.
we do, Rich, now, and I'm glad you've been watching the show, because you probably haven't been, we pick a Big Three member, and then we pick someone else that's not in the Big Three. So we have 2 picks. Keselowski was my non-Big Three pick. I think Kevin Harvick was, but it doesn't matter. We won the race.
All right, well, congratulations.
We won the race.
All right, so you're starting this game off 3 points ahead. Very good.
Yes.
I saw you near Victory Lane. Is that why you were down there? Were you celebrating?
Oh, I wanted to get a video of the crew celebrating.
Were you jumping around with them like, I got 3
No,
points?
no, I just got a video of. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Okay.
old Tyler got to interview Justin Allgaier after his big win.
Oh boy, you got
at
a
the
picture of
Brickyard.
me?
And he asked this ridiculous question. Let's take a listen to this.
Never in a million years did I think that,
I thought
that
it was
we'd
a
have the
good
opportunity
answer. I thought it
to
was
kiss
a
the
good
bricks,
question.
and we finally got to do that, so that's pretty special.
What do they taste like?
Actually, that's something that I actually.
And Allgaier was
you know,
dumbfounded by that question.
That's special.
Good job, man. Find some milk.
Thank you. Yes.
He had a good answer.
What did he say?
I don't think anybody would ever ask someone that. I think it was a unique question.
He was dumbfounded by
No,
that
I think
question.
it was a unique question. No one ever asked that. What do
there's a
those
reason
dirty
why.
bricks taste like?
Well, I can't imagine what they would say. What would they
What do
say?
they taste like?
What do they taste like?
He said dirty.
Did he?
No, first he said very, very sweet.
Uh-huh.
You know, because it's a sweet victory or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
At first he said,
Yeah, he said sweet.
I did not hear that. All I heard him.
Anyways,
I heard him kind of struggle to answer a question.
I'm glad you had that prepared for this week. That was nice. Thank you. We need to talk about a new playoff game that's come out. NASCAR Fantasy Live introduces a new format for the next 10 weeks. Boys, let me just run it down quickly, some of the brief changes. For your lineup, you have 2 playoff drivers, 2 non-playoff drivers. So that's the starting 4, if you will. Garage driver can be either a playoff driver or a non-playoff driver. But when you substitute them in, they have to be either a non-playoff driver, you have to substitute it for a non-playoff driver, or you have to substitute it for a playoff driver, depending on what they are. There is no allocation. You must pick a champion. There's a champion slot on there for bonus points. I don't know if it's like a golden buzzard or whatever, but if you pick the champion or something like that, I didn't see what the points were, but you have to set that before the Las Vegas race. Pole award, stage winners, race winners, manufacturer picks all the same. So really it doesn't change a whole lot. You pick one less driver, basically.
60 points if you pick the champion.
60 points.
60 points. That's quite a. But I wonder if that option is there after this first week.
It's not.
It's not. So you've got to pick that thing right now.
Yep,
Okay.
in the rules it says you have to pick it before the race on Sunday, the South Point 400, and then November, whatever the date is for the race, is when it will end.
Who are you picking?
I've already got mine locked in. I guess we can talk about that. I'm picking Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, I've got Harvick as well.
I am going with the hottest driver
What?
right now. 2-car.
Well, here's the thing. He's the hottest driver, but both these wins, I don't feel like he was the best car in both those wins.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But I think you're going to have to be the best car to get to Homestead, or to win the championship.
There was a 6-year string where the person who won Indy won the championship. And both of those, the last 2 races are 2 huge races to put together, right?
Oh,
They're
no
both
doubt.
Full team. Car's got to be there. The team's got to be there. The driver's got to be there, and they both won. Them both late in the race. So
No doubt.
I don't know. They got the crew chief. They got the driver. They got the team behind them as far as road crew and pit crew.
Pit stop won it at Darlington.
4-car.
Strategy from Paul Wolf this week, I think, won him the race because he had the best tires there late at the race, late at the end, and could challenge Hamlin.
And the 4-car guys, new pit crew guy on the rear of that car. So
You been struggling, or
no,
they switched out?
Daniel Smith has some health issues. He has probably the most successful rear changer in the last decade. He 2 championships, one with Tony, one with Kevin Harvick, probably about 40 feature wins. He has some health issues, so they have a backup, a new guy on the back of that. He's been there 2 weeks, and they didn't have a great last stop this weekend. That kind of took him out of contention. So keep an eye on that as the playoffs roll on.
That's the insight you get on this show, right? Because he knows the entire garage.
I'm changing mine. I'm changing it right now. Maybe Kyle Busch, but maybe I'm
No,
not
the
going-
18
I'm
to
not going
78.
Brown.
I think if Kyle Larson can get to Homestead, I think he's got a realistic shot of winning that race.
I think so too.
All right, we're going to play the rest of the game. 3 points for me heading into Minority Report, right? Is that the next one? Judgment Call. Can we just switch the segments
I was about
around?
to say, does he lose points over not knowing what's next?
This is the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style.
What do they taste like?
Smooth out a rough engine, restore power, and improve fuel economy with Seafoam Motor Treatment. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today and purchase 2 bottles of Seafoam Motor Treatment and get 1 free. Plus, earn double points on this purchase during O Rewards Member Appreciation Month. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The roar of motorcycles takes over Daytona International Speedway October 18th through the 21st with the return of Biketoberfest. Racing action features top riders from CCS and ASRA as they take on Daytona's challenging 3.51-mile road course. Enjoy free demo rides from top manufacturers, stroll through the area's largest motorcycle marketplace, and enjoy Saturday's Hot Leathers fashion show and bikini contest in Harley-Davidson Thunder Alley. Marketplace admission, demo rides, and parking are free. For race tickets, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
The 1993 Cup Series season had more than its fair share of twists and turns.
Checkered flags waving. I look in my mirror and here's Earnhardt right on my tail, and he goes down low to pass me. And I said, "Oh no, you don't."
As Wallace spins, Wallace's car goes on its nose.
Here's stories that you've never heard before in a 10-part series called The 1993 Season, 25 years later.
And Davey was behind me, and we came off the corner, and there's a guy standing in the middle of the racetrack.
You can download it for free on iTunes and at MRN.com right now.
All rise. Court is in session. The dishonorable judges of the Inside Line are taking the bench. Here's Tyler, Greg, and Ryan with Judgment Call.
Court is in session, boys. It's time for Judgment Call here on the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show. I'm sorry I called it the Minority Report in the last segment. 3 points for me, 0 for Skip, 0 for, unfortunately, Rich Culbreth. So let's begin, boys. Here's the first question. You guys will debate. And I guess Greg will get Rich's points by the end? Or, is that right? So
That
Greg
is correct.
Okay. Who would you gamble on for the biggest return? Who could feasibly pull off the championship against the greatest odds?
I'm going to have to say Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, because he his mile and a halves and 2 mile tracks, I think he excels on. I think when it comes down to it, I think if he makes it to the Final Four, he wins the championship. I mean, it's easy to say that, well, I'm not giving Martin Truex Jr. a pass for the Final Four just yet. That team has just been off of it here recently. At least last 3 or 4 weeks, they have not finished in the top 10. They've had all kinds of problems. Of course, they had the big news where it came out that the team is going to go away at the end of the season. That might be affecting some of that team. But I'm going to say Kyle Larson should be one of those 4. And if he does, he excels at Homestead. I think he does it.
I like Kyle Larson as well, but the thing that troubles me with him is closing late in a race. And he couldn't close at Darlington. He couldn't close at some big races. So is he going to be able to close if he gets that opportunity later in the chase? I don't love that their team falls off at the end of the race. So that's why I'm going to go with the hottest man right now, Brad Keselowski. 2 crown jewels in 2 weeks, a team that's on fire, and very fast performing Penske Fords that have found their stride. They seem to be peaking at the right time, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. So are those 2 guys that would defy the odds?
I think so. I mean, who would you say would defy the odds?
Chase Elliott? No. Or someone who you realistically think
Jimmy Johnson.
they're going to have to get a hold. That would be
a big defy. But you could say any of the guys other than the top 3.
The question was, who would you gamble on for the biggest return, meaning who lowest down the list would bring you the biggest return if you were to bet on them.
Oh,
I see.
Who's going to make up
like
the biggest
Jimmy
gap?
Johnson would have been a good number because even though he hadn't been running good, that guy could feasibly pop in and steal. But, it was your debate.
Yeah, no. I still say Kyle Larson. He's the one that's going to give you the biggest return.
Can I not write either one? Anyways, who's next?
I got it.
Got it?
Yeah, we'll just go this way. Who was the biggest disappointment this year that didn't make the playoffs? Rich.
I'm going to say who didn't make the playoffs is Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
You think that's the biggest disappointment?
I think that's the biggest disappointment. And the reason being is that team excelled. They won 2 of the restrictor plate races last year. This year they couldn't win any of them. I realize that some of the other tracks that they don't do well on, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. out of all the guys that didn't make the chase or make the playoffs, I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is probably the biggest surprise in my book.
I have 3 names. Stenhouse wasn't one of them. I don't think they were fast enough all year long to even contend.
You can only pick one.
But okay, I'm gonna narrow it down to one. So my 3 names are Hendrick Equipment, Gibbs Equipment, and then Ryan Newman.
I only want one.
Hold on. I got time. I got 43 seconds. Hendrick Equipment with William Byron, Gibbs Equipment with Daniel Suarez, and Ryan Newman from RCR. Obviously, I feel like Ryan Newman probably is a better race car driver than Austin Dillon. That might be a hot take on my opinion, but I feel like it is. But I think Daniel Suarez is a bigger disappointment out of those 3 because William Byron's a rookie. We'll give him a pass for that. Mm-hmm. Newman's equipment isn't probably playoff worthy. But because, Austin won the Daytona 500, I'm going to say Suarez, his second year, they were really fast. I feel like they probably felt like they should be in the playoffs.
Where were they really fast?
They had good speed throughout the year.
I don't remember them ever being, they were okay.
They had some mistakes.
They had some mistakes, and I don't remember them doing that great.
Neither did Stenhouse.
And I realize it's Joe Gibbs Equipment, but I just don't think, Suarez never won a race before. Same thing with William Byron. And then, of course, Ryan Newman,
Right now, head-to-head, Suarez is better than Stenhouse.
Okay, you're just going with the guy that finished 17th in the standings. That's why you're surprised. I say Ricky Stenhouse Jr. because of his recent wins from last year. All right.
Okay, so you got to get lucky and win on plate tracks again.
Lucky? He did it twice last year. How do you get lucky twice?
I'm just playing.
All right. Order.
All
See,
right.
this is the debate you get with
here
unfortunately Rich in here.
All right.
All right, so Stenhouse is better. I just feel like Suarez is better right now than Stenhouse. They missed out.
My question is stuck. All right, here we go. Final question. What do the bricks taste like? How did I do that one? I got to pick another question. Hey, give me the other one here.
Sweet and dirty.
That's literally what the question says. What do the bricks taste like? All right, here we go. All right, final question. Which driver made the playoffs that surprised you the most?
Which driver? Alex Bowman, I guess, since he was the 16th, right? They didn't even contend for wins really this year. I feel like Alex Bowman or Austin Dillon because he won a plate race.
You can't just pick everybody.
I'm going to say Alex Bowman.
Okay. So Alex Bowman doesn't really impressed me that he made the chase because he's supposed to make the chase what he's in. If I was looking at it at Daytona before the race started, I would say the 3 car is not going to make the chase. Now, did he damn near kill Eric Almirola and win Daytona 500 and make it in? Good for him. We'll see how deep he can take his playoff berth. But if there was one at the beginning of the year that I wouldn't have picked, it wouldn't have been a 3 car.
Okay.
All right, so there you go.
So I would have had William Byron in probably over Bowman because that 24 team has been better, in my opinion, over the years. So that's why Bowman is a little bit of a surprise for me. In my opinion, I think Byron and Bowman should have been in the playoffs, and I think he's probably right on Austin Dillon. I kind of spoke too soon.
I realize I'm not supposed to make a judgment on this, but I say Jimmy Johnson. He's the one that surprised me the most that made the playoffs. And I know that sounds odd.
You can make judgments if you want.
Yeah, but Jimmy Johnson surprised me the most. Why is he in the playoffs? I mean, he just squeaked in there.
They're fast enough, though.
Oh, it's just
to be in.
Barely. I mean, that team is just stinking. It's terrible right now.
Not good right now.
All right.
I'm telling you that right now. All right.
All right, so what am I supposed to do?
I feel like I lost.
Oh, this hurts. Okay. We're ready.
Ready? Set, go.
I picked Tyler because
I
made a decision when I read that question that the 19 car was the one that disappointed me the most. Only based strictly on how well Eric Jones has ran.
Yep.
That is why
hung jury, no point.
I was upset.
The reason I voted for Rich is because I felt like I lost the segment against Skip, so I could even it out potentially. But
so you're just trying to play the game.
But I actually do feel like Kyle Larson has a better chance to win than Brad Keselowski at Homestead.
I don't even remember what Skip said. I just picked him.
So really, I'm the only one that's not playing.
And I thought about that too because I knew Rich was not going to pick me. This is the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show presented by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style.
What do they taste like?
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice, Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Grunt Style. The American fighting spirit is in everything we make. We are 500 patriots and veterans strong, bringing clothing manufacturing back to the United States of America. Always moving forward, never retreating, never giving up. We are Grunt Style, and this we'll defend. Get yours at gruntstyle.com.
The Motor Racing Network is drawing lines every week on MRN.com. Choose the fastest line on Thursdays with the Straight Line, a nitro-fueled half-hour showcasing the biggest names on the NHRA circuit. On Fridays, take the shortest line with the Inside Line, your source for NASCAR Fantasy Racing insight from experts in and around the garage. Don't miss the Straight Line and the Inside Line, Thursdays and Fridays at noon Eastern, only on MRN.com. Is the enemy of my enemy or my friend? Find out on the Inside Line's Minority Report.
Off to a brief lead here from winning the pole position from last week with Brad Keselowski, 3-0. Now we go to Minority Report. This one gets kind of dicey here, boys. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, Daryl. Who's our first driver?
All right, gentlemen, if you will grab your flags, close your eyes, and our first Minority Report driver is Eric Jones in 3, 2, 1. Oh, Tyler, you are the minority. You have 60 seconds to change their minds. Go.
I think they aren't as strong right now as a lot of cars, and if you look at this new fantasy format, right? 2 playoff drivers, 2 non-playoff drivers, and a garage driver. Why would you put Eric Jones in 2 of those playoff spots? Tell me right now. You have no allocation.
Because he just finished second at the Biggest race of the year.
Okay, well, that kind of racing has nothing to do with what's going to happen this weekend.
So it doesn't. That track.
You're
doesn't have
telling me
anything to do
Eric
with
Jones
motor
is
or
better than Brad
aerodynamics?
Keselowski, is better than Kyle Busch, is better than Kevin Harvick, is better than Martin Truex Jr. Heck, I think Chase Elliott's better than Eric Jones right now.
He was better than all of them merely 2 days ago.
Okay,
Except
but
for
listen,
Brad
that was
Keselowski.
essentially plate racing, right?
No.
You needed big runs. I mean, that's
Absolutely
nothing.
not.
That kind of racing has nothing to do
You're
with
leading
what
these
Las
people
Vegas.
wrong. It's going to be exactly the same. It's how much motor you have, how good your aerodynamic package is. That's exactly what Vegas is going to be, and
They're
how
just
good your team is.
Different type of cars.
It's
I
the
feel
same
like
exact car and package. It's not the Xfinity
I don't
package.
think you can sit here and say that
just making
one of
stuff
your
up.
playoff drivers will be Eric Jones.
It's a gavel.
That
He's
is
just making
completely
stuff up.
lying to your fans.
All right. Skip, Rich, get your flags back.
All right, so let me get this straight. So green, I agree with Tyler, or red, I don't.
No, he had put the red flag up. So you either, if you agree with him, you put the red flag up.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Or you put the green flag up. Which
He's
is
gonna
what
mess
you
this up.
stayed with. All right.
All right.
Because he
So,
accidentally gave me
ready?
points the last time.
In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so you didn't change your mind. So Skip and Rich get 1 point.
I seriously think, though, that Eric Jones isn't going to be too bad. I think he's going to be a top 5 car.
Okay.
I mean, can he
You
go out
play
there
Eric
and win the
Jones
race?
this week, and I'll play others. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right.
All right, Minority Report
on my
driver
garage
number
driver.
2.
Me too.
Get your flags, close your eyes. And we're going with Jimmy Johnson in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, no.
Up, across the board.
And here's a
Tell-
question I have in my notes. Is this the time that Jimmy Johnson comes alive?
No. No.
What about all those other
You're a
times?
huge Jimmy Johnson supporter. Every time we talk about him, you start glowing.
We'll see how far down the road he can make it. If he starts getting closer to, let's see if he makes it through these first 3, which Vegas he's good at.
He has the best driver rating of all of them.
Yeah.
At Vegas.
Richmond,
but
he's not very good at, but
this
he
is
has never had to be good at.
Vegas
there.
now is essentially a brand new racetrack. After, 2 races ago they changed it?
No, it's the same.
Well, they repaved it. They reconfigured one of the turns. I mean, it's pretty different now.
I think you're thinking about Texas.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do it with
Yeah.
Minority Driver 3.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
Johnson, yeah.
Nope.
He has 1 top 10 this year on mile-and-a-half racetracks now.
All right,
I'm going
grab
with
your
Jimmy.
flags, close your eyes. Minority Report driver number 3, Kyle Larson in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Why do you guys like Kyle Larson?
Well, Kyle Larson, I think, is going to be one of the guys to beat for the championship. I mean, I'm not saying he's one of the major 3 guys, and I think it's now down to 2. I mean, I know we haven't talked about Martin Truex Jr., but I just don't believe that Truex is on the game right now. And if you've got him as one of your big 3, then I think you might need to change it up. I think Brad Keselowski is someone that should be on there. But if not Brad, I think Kyle Larson. If anything, Kyle Larson should be your garage driver. I mean, have Kyle Larson, because obviously there's going to be your 2 playoff guys should be, and I know we're probably getting ahead of the game here, it's Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. But if you're going to use somebody else, I mean, Eric Jones would be good. But I said your garage driver should be Kyle Larson.
Specifically this weekend, Kyle Larson, 3rd in the spring, 2nd at Las Vegas in 2017. He has 6 top 10s this year on mile-and-a-half racetracks. He's only been out of the top 10 once at mile-and-a-half tracks this year, and that was because he crashed. So I think he's probably one of the best on mile-and-a-half racetracks right now.
All right, one last driver. Grab your flags, close your eyes. Our last Minority Report driver, Jamie McMurray in 3, 2, 1.
Which one's right? Right hand, yeah. Oh,
Rich, you are the
Richard.
minority. You have 60 seconds to change their
Oh,
mind.
boy, this ought to be good.
I thought about that for a second. Now, the way the new game is played is that you've got 2 playoff drivers and you got 2 non-playoff drivers. Jimmy McMurray, you don't have a whole lot of options in the non-playoff drivers. Jimmy McMurray should be on your team. You only have, as far as non-playoff drivers, Paul Menard, Jimmy McMurray, Ryan Newman. Those are guys that
Ricky Stenhouse was really good in Vegas this year.
Exactly, he was.
Ryan Newman, Daniel Suarez, William Byron. There are plenty of options.
I'm just
Don't
saying.
start the war.
I'm just saying, as far as non-playoff drivers, Jimmy McMurray is one of your better options.
The only thing I'll give Jamie McMurray is 1 top 5 this year on mile-and-a-half racetracks and 2 top 10s. Now, that's better than some of the guys that are not in the playoffs. But right now, if you go down the list of speed at Las Vegas and speed on mile-and-a-half racetracks, Jamie McMurray would not be in the top 2 of non-playoff drivers for me.
Let's go on a personal level here. Jamie McMurray's out of a job. He doesn't have a ride next year. It's pretty apparent. how's he going to go out? I've worked for him when he didn't have a ride before. We won races. The last time he didn't have a locked-in ride, he won 3 races in a year.
He's good at Indy.
He's got.
I mean, they've tried the strategy to try to win the race to get in, but I'm not digging the 1.5 mile speed.
All right,
and the mistakes.
Tyler and Ryan.
I'm not going to vote for Rich, obviously.
Put your votes up.
But Ryan probably is going to change his mind.
In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I figured.
I like Jamie.
So
I worked for him.
First
guy I ever worked.
Ryan
You just
both
wanted
have 3
points.
points now.
All right.
What the?
Hi.
So is that a tie? Are we done here? Of course. I should have just went green, but then that would have gave him the lead. So I guess at least I did damage control.
He's got a good argument.
Yeah. He had a valid argument as far as non-playoff drivers, but I'm still not putting Jamie McMurray ahead of other guys.
All right.
What would that pick taste like?
It's time for a break. 4-4-3. I forgot you guys got 1 point in there on the one where you agreed with each other. Anyways, this is the Inside Line Fantasy Racing Show. I'll get hit by a rock next, presented by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style.
What do they taste like?
Easily remove dirt, dust, and grime with Armor All Canister Wipes. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 2 Armor All Canister Wipes for $8. Plus, you'll earn double O Rewards points during O Rewards Member Appreciation Month. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The roar of motorcycles takes over Daytona International Speedway October 18th through the 21st with the return of Biketoberfest. Racing action features top riders from CCS and ASRA as they take on Daytona's challenging 3.51-mile road course. Enjoy free demo rides from top manufacturers, stroll through the area's largest motorcycle marketplace, and enjoy Saturday's Hot Leathers fashion show and bikini contest in Harley-Davidson Thunder Alley. Marketplace admission, demo rides, and parking are free. For race tickets, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Live sports are the one true reality entertainment, where a single dramatic moment can become timeless. In NASCAR, Motor Racing Network's live broadcasts elevates your senses to the sights, sounds, and struggles taking place on the racetrack.
Austin Dillon leads the pack. No one ever thought he would contend for the win. He's going to win the 60th running of the Daytona 500.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
Up under a rock, or are you Tyler Burnett?
All right, everyone who produces this show, all you fans, favorite time of the week, my worst time of the week, it's Under the Rock, or Tyler Burnett and Rich Culbreth and Skip, or whatever it's called now. Let's play. 5 choices, boys. You get 5 points if you get them all. You get 1 for each one you have. Daryl, what is our Under the Rock this week?
All right. Well, we're going to Vegas, so this one's pretty straightforward.
Oh, boy.
Donald, if you'll put the picture up, and you have 30 seconds to write me 5 facts about these guys or pictures or whatever. Go, Donald.
I'm guessing this is some kind of movie. Oh, boy. I recognize some of these people in this. Can I write those names?
Yes, you can.
What's that guy's name? I know him.
All right, moment of truth.
See, but Rich knows every single one of those people.
I don't know all of them. I can't tell you all their names.
Oh, I know the guy in the middle. I forget his name, though. I don't know if I saw this guy on here, but I think maybe. Anyways.
All right.
All right.
Who's ready?
Here, I'll go first since I like to embarrass myself. Was Bernie Mac on there, like to the left?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Was Matt Damon on it? Matt Damon.
Yes, he was.
Was Brad Pitt on there?
Yes, he was.
Was P. Diddy on there? Put the picture back up. Put the picture back up. I thought I saw P. Diddy on there. Or Ice Cube, or
no, that's
not P. Diddy.
Oh, the guy to the right. No, I don't know him.
And a 5th one?
Man, that was it. I just had an arrow because I know that guy in the middle.
Name of the movie?
I know that guy in the middle right there. Yes, the one with the suit and the white in the middle. I know that guy, but I don't know his name.
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
No, you can't write that down.
What do you got, Ryan?
I got 3. I got 3.
Hey, if you're going to write stuff down, write down Bernie Mac. Oceans. It's one of the Oceans 11, 12,
Correct.
13. They rob a casino in that movie. Right?
Correct.
Brad Pitt, George Clooney, and blank.
So, what did I get? 4 or 3?
You had 3.
Well, you just assumed that I got all of them.
Rich, what do you got?
You're old, though.
Well, I know. That's Ocean's 11. That's George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Bernie Mac.
All 5.
And the guy that looks like P. Diddy, I'm going to say his name is, it's leaving me for a second. It starts with a C.
Don Cheadle.
Cheadle. That's it. Don Cheadle.
See, you can't put movies up here for Rich. He's old. He watches way more movies than me.
Well, that's not even an old movie.
No, it's not an old movie.
And it's a remake of an old Rat Pack movie with...
I'm pretty impressed. I could recognize some of those people on there, but yeah, I did not know.
Go to the
I've
chicken.
never seen that movie.
Chicken it is.
Rango, bring it in.
What do they taste like?
Chicken
What's
is.
chicken taste like?
All right. By the way, we need to make sure that everyone knows this. Rango did not finish ahead of me in the regular season points, so screw you, chicken.
Whoa. Nice.
Oh, look at that.
What do they taste like?
What do they taste like? Oh boy.
Oh, we got to write down what the chicken says.
Well, all right. So here is Rango's picks, and we'll see how close we got. The 4, the 18, I got those. The 19 and the 31, I did not have those.
I have nobody.
And Kyle Larson was his garage driver. So I got 2 points. Rich, who did you have?
I had Harvick, Kyle Busch.
You got 2.
Suarez.
You got 3.
And Kyle Larson. I had Paul Menard as the other guy.
He won.
You got 4. You won.
Well, I always win.
All right, Donald, go ahead and put up the final tally.
Oh boy. No!
Greg Rich.
How about that?
Greg Rich.
I think I had 16 last week. Or the last time. Look at that. See, whoever I stand in for, they win. Skip, I stood in for you, man. You were a big winner that week.
I know. I've won the most of these somehow.
Oh boy.
All right.
Rich wins again.
Pick your winners this week.
Rich, you're first. You won.
Harvick.
Well, you got to write down a Big 3 member and then someone not in the Big 3.
All right.
It's too easy. Greg's going to win next week.
You think?
I don't know. Turn your board around so they can see.
All right. 4 is my Big 3 and 42. Kyle Larson.
All right.
Same I did last week. 18-12.
18-12. Thank you, boys, for leaving. Well, I'm going to have to go with the 78 because that's the only Big 3 member left. I think he'll be good this week if they can make less mistakes and figure out what their engine was last week. I think it's pretty easy. Non-Big 3 member.
2? Really? Okay.
Why really? He just won 2 races in a row, and he's really good at Vegas.
Well, you think the odds, though, will catch up with him.
In the last 5 races at Vegas, he's won twice and was passed for the win in 2 on the last restart.
He's not winning this
He
week.
essentially had the car to beat 4 of the last 5 races at Vegas.
He has done well at Vegas, but he ain't winning this week.
You have to pick the 12 because that's your teammate.
I don't have to.
Or whatever.
It's really our only shot to make an extra inch. We're not good at Richmond. Who the hell knows?
Off Access Paint, I'm sure there'll be some Shark helmets this weekend. Greg's still working on those. Next week, the second race of the playoffs. Join us then. Hopefully, Greg will be back. Until then, we'll see you next time.
What do they taste like?